Hi, this is Psych Reads Wonder, where I do predictions of the future. If you'd like me to do prediction for you, let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about Tezos. A lot of people have been asking about Tezos and its price prediction, and it seems that the cards are revealing about $18 American, of course, in the next 3 years time period. Other things going on with Tezos at the moment is the health of the project is pretty good going forward. The health of the entire system, they've overturned some legal things going on behind the scenes, and also are taming many of the new hurdles coming towards them in grand fashion. And I guess there was some nefarious people that were part of the project that were released uh, to go their own way. Other things, the corporation itself, the people that make up the Tezos team, uh, have seemed to gotten past the chaos that they were going through. Okay, because of either getting rid of team members and gaining new ones that would fit the situation much better. Uh, they do have sites on uh, more of a global reach than what it is right now going forward, and also maybe reducing the cost of doing things in the future. Okay, there's my two Satoshis on Tezos. Now let's talk about Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Will Ethereum be bigger than Bitcoin? That's hard to say because they're two separate and different projects. One is more about finance and one is more about contracts. So they're two separate entities in the old crypto world. So Ethereum will have its uses, of course, but it seems going into the future just a tiny bit is they're going to have a lot of problems going on, especially with changing into Ethereum 2.0. A lot of the things they were discussing, and this is not the first time about releasing the goings on with what's going on with Ethereum 2.0, are going to be delayed by a little bit longer than they had suspected. Other things, some of the people may be pulling away from the projects. Even now, Ethereum has quite a few people working on the project. It's just really tricky getting everything to work perfectly, okay, with the new model. So it's going to take at least 2 to 3 years for them to iron out most of the things that they have to change Ethereum into, especially those gas prices going forward. If they don't fix those gas prices, I think they will, but it won't be for some time. If they don't fix those gas prices, Ethereum's just going to be basically a paperweight. Um, so in the health of it, a lot of turmoil coming up for the next year or so. I even maybe even a little longer, and just hang on. It's going to do okay, but it's going to be a real rough ride going into the 2.0. The wealth, they're getting rid of nefarious people that are part of the projects. Also, people are going to be focusing on all the negatives of what's going on with the Ethereum project and its team. So people are going to be pulling away and only focusing on the negative aspects of the project, and maybe even pulling away and putting their Ethereum and selling it into other cryptocurrencies for the time being. Uh, People that are within the organization, There's going to be some failed uh, partnerships coming forward in the next year or so. Plus, they're going to have a hard time keeping some of the team members into the team once they get rid of some nefarious people, getting new people. It's going to be a little bit of that's part of that confusion that they're going to be having in the next year to 2 years time coming up. So that's just my two satoshis on Ethereum. Now let's talk about magic coin price. Now the price is going to be going up, but not for quite some time, as they're trying to iron out some of the relationships going on within the team that's part of the platform. Now there's some of the cards that are specifying that a good portion of the team is going to go away in some form. Either they're dismissed out of the team, or they just go away into other projects. And I think this is something that happens quite a bit within cryptocurrency teams, as you read more and more that a lot of the cryptocurrency people that are in the know all know one another, and they have their beefs with one another, so which causes a lot of friction between the team members. So team members will go on to other projects and new ones will come into the system. So other things going on, the health is okay. There's going to be a stretch of time that everything's going to look horrible for the team going forward because they can't seem to get things together. The wealth of the system, that's going to be on shaky ground, but there's going to be some interesting things developing which will bring it forward, but it won't be for some time in a grand scale, as everybody's expecting everything to go up to the heavens. It'll go up, it just won't explode for some time. Other things going on are they're going to be having to put out many fires that are going on inside the team and outside of the team for the next little while. So that's just my two satoshis on Matic Coin. Let's talk about the Great Reset 2021. Now this is a scary group by the World Economic Forum, which I've done a few videos on, and there's many videos on YouTube about the group on their slogan, "You'll have nothing and you'll love it." And this is all in part to do with how the global economy is changing for the worse. Okay, so the people in charge are going to have all the wealth while we have very little, because now that our economy is crashing, it is, and it's going to take about approximately 5 years. Everybody's heard of the 2030, 2025 time scale that the crash is going to occur, and not a lot of people are going to understand that it is actually happening, because the Federal Reserve keeps pumping in money into the banking system to keep everything afloat. So the next thing we're going to be seeing, okay, is the Fed bailing out mutual funds coming in about 2 to 3 years time, because right now they're bailing out bonds, the bond market, and the banking system. If they weren't doing that, the whole banking system would fall flat on its face. So the Great Reset is supposed to be after all this wonderful stuff happens, okay, for them to keep control over us, okay? They're going to have all the wealth, and we're going to have nothing, and we're going to be happy. That's what their slogan says. So I do see it occurring, okay, for the mass majority of people around the world that unfortunately haven't gotten into cryptocurrencies. You have to remember 2 to 3% of the population has gotten into cryptocurrencies in any significant way. And I don't believe the amount of people necessary, okay, are getting in quick enough to save themselves. Of course, people do things at the last minute. They won't do anything until it's almost too late, unfortunately. Of course, gold and silver are going to be part of something that can save us from the Great Reset and the great collapse of the economy in the next 4 or 5 years' time, as they make the crash go slowly. Okay, now if the bank, of course, I was saying if the Fed wasn't pumping in money, the whole banking system would collapse in on itself and fall on its face. So this is why the Federal Reserve is doing all the things that it is doing. Okay? And you're going to be seeing the price of goods in the next year or so. When you go grocery shopping, things that used to be $1 are now $5. So the purchasing power of the dollar is going to diminish to almost nothing. So you're going to need a wheelbarrow of money to buy that loaf of bread, kind of like Brazil or some of the other countries that are faced financial ruin. Okay? That's what's going to be happening in the next 5 years. So the cards are revealing all this. It's going to be a sunny day for the Fed and all the people in power. Now, all of us that aren't part of that, we're going to be really suffering unless we've prepared ourselves with cryptocurrencies. I know I get a lot of people asking prices. At this point in the game, who really cares about price? Just get into the good cryptos, okay? Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and any of those top coins, any of the top 100 coins, you should be fine, okay? Maybe not XRP or any of the stable coins. They don't really have any value. And since they're pegged to the American dollar, So going forward, if you're in that 100 coins or so, you'll be okay. So let's stop quivering about price. Who cares? You're going to be a millionaire if you get into some cryptos. Okay? And it's going to be a long battle for us regular folks out there to retake our rights and our countries back to the people. We are going to be getting rid of these people, sort of, to where we regain control of our own sovereignty. But it's going to take a lot of work and waking up a lot of people and stop worrying about things that aren't real, like mask wearing. It's nothing. Okay, just my 2 Satoshis on the Great Reset. Now let's talk about XRP and will it drop more than it is now? It has fallen from the grace that it has had for quite some time because it hadn't been listed on many exchanges. I think that's going to be changing going forward. I've heard on the news that they're going to be re-putting it on on the exchanges going forward, and many of the problems that they were having are going to be turning around, and they're going to have bright and beautiful days ahead. I don't think it's regained its place in the banking system because of all this. I think the banking system has its eyes on other projects to fulfill uh, what XRP was supposed to be going forward. The the wealth is going to be walking away from XRP because it's a little bit of uncertainty for some regular folks. For the XRP people that just swear by it will stay by its side, but many of the people are going to be disappearing, going on to other projects and putting their XRP and selling it out and putting it into Tezos, let's say, or Bitcoin, which was going to just go crazy in the next couple of years. With the battle that they just had, and they overturned a lot of things legally, and it's going to pave the road forward for many other cryptocurrencies, even though XRP is not really a cryptocurrency, but it's going to bring many other cryptocurrencies and paving that road forward for other projects that are out there and writing the legislation and all that going forward. In the group itself, there's going to be some people leaving. Almost a whole section of the team is going to be leaving, and there's going to be some new people coming into the system, but they're not going to be well equipped for quite some time to handle the situation going forward. Okay, that's just my two satoshis on the subject. Now let's talk about Cardano, and will it reach $100? And the answer to that question is a definite yes. As the project moves forward and they're doing everything right, even though it's slower than most other projects, they like to do things well and then move on to the next thing, which is very important when you're making a financial platform for the future. The health of it is really, really good. It's going to be one of the chosen ones for some governments going forward, and it's going to be part of that second wave of coins. It will gain traction, but not for the mass majority. A lot of people don't understand this when I say first wave, second wave. First wave coins have the infrastructure to do the things that could be global, like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, that sort of thing. It has the infrastructure to do the things that it needs to do and for what people need it to do. Okay? Second wave coins don't have that infrastructure yet. Like Cardano is very good project. They just don't have the infrastructure in place quite yet. Okay? And it takes time for that to be built. And many people around the world have no clue what a Cardano is. Okay, they barely know what a Bitcoin is. Well, most people know what a Bitcoin is, but most people don't even know what an Ethereum is. That 98% of people walking around have no clue what we're talking about. So they don't have the infrastructure, which is very important if you want to move the world forward. Okay? And most of the second wave coins that I say are second wave don't have that infrastructure. Okay? They're great. They're just not ready yet. So, the health of the coin is going very well. There's going to be some bumpy road coming up very soon. They're going to have some problems with some legal stuff going forward, but magically things get corrected pretty quickly, because I think the governments of the world will want this project to go forward without too many hitches. Okay? So there's that. The team is doing very well, and I think there's going to be a bigger payout for everybody that's been in Cardano for any length of time. But it won't be that huge, big, like a Bitcoin quite yet. It may take a little while until it gets to that Bitcoin price pie in the sky that we're all used to in Bitcoin. It will get there. It just takes time. Okay, that's just my 2 Satoshis on ADA. Unit token future. This is what we're going to be talking about next. I did have my spread of cards on the table, as I always do. Now, the future for unit token is going to be shaky for the next little while going forward, because there's a lot of things that they thought they had nailed down. They find out that they're not nailed down, and it's going to cause them problems going forward. And it's because of some nefarious things going on with one individual on the team that's going to be wrecking the entire batch of people. It's not until they resolve that problem where everything can go forward for the team. But with that, I think he was one of the main people, and maybe it'll take some time for it to go forward, because I think he was one of the people that was plotting the course forward. That's my impression. So they're gonna have everything kind of ready to charge, and they get this guy, knock the guy out, and now we got a whole bunch of people on horseback waiting. They're ready to go, but they don't have the go from the commander. So there's going to be making emotions on the team and from the people that enjoy the coins or tokens, emotionally unbalanced for the next little while. So money, it may do a little bit of this for the next 2 to 3 years and then come back. It'll still go up, but not to the incredible heights that it could have if it wasn't for certain individuals within the organization. Okay, just my 2 Satoshis on Unitoken. Always grateful for the people that are donating down below. Check me out on the Linktree link either in the description or in my bio, depending where you're seeing this, to find where I am on the internet. I'm in quite a few places now. So, with that said, I'll see you in the future.